You get a request and you answer before you even notice you answered. You tell yourself, if I say no or even pause, I'll disappoint them and create tension that I'm responsible for fixing. That belief is not maturity or kindness. It is a safety move. You say yes, and your stomach drops. You start doing math in your head. You picture their face if you hesitate. You say yes to manage their feelings, not to help, and it looks fine on the outside. You sound agreeable. You sound easy. Then later you feel drained, resentful, and oddly invisible in your own life. A small moment shows it. A text comes in while you're eating or trying to shut your brain off. Quick question, can you help with this real fast? Your fingers hover, and your mind pulls you toward the fastest exit. The fastest exit is a yes. Not because you want to, because a yes ends the tension immediately. Because a pause feels like you're starting a problem. So you send the yes. You feel that little wave of relief. Then, 10 minutes later, you're already annoyed. Not at them, at you. Here's the part most people miss. You're not agreeing to the task. You're agreeing to the emotional job attached to the task. You take responsibility for keeping the interaction smooth. That emotional job is like an open tab draining your battery in the background. You keep it running all day. You keep checking it. You keep paying attention to whether they seem okay. You can watch it happen in real time. Someone asks, your body tightens. Your voice goes up a little. You start smiling, even if they can't see you. Then you go into customer service mode. You manage tone. You manage comfort. You manage disappointment. And it's exhausting because it never ends. The short-term payoff is clean. You avoid an awkward pause. You avoid a guilty feeling. You avoid the chance that they'll be irritated. The long-term cost is also clean. Your time gets booked by other people's urgency. Your own plans get pushed to later. And resentment starts to build because your outside sure doesn't match your inside I can't. Popular advice says, just be confident and say no, but that misses the real pressure point. What's actually going on is simpler. In that moment, your brain treats their reaction like an emergency. Not a real emergency, a social emergency. You feel responsible for preventing discomfort. So you use speed as a tool. You answer quickly so you don't have to sit in the tension. And speed feels like kindness because it looks smooth. Now the mechanisms, in plain sight. First, you confuse being easy to deal with being a good person. So you default to whatever keeps you low maintenance, even when it costs you sleep, focus, or basic peace. Second, you treat other people's reactions like something you must manage. If they might be disappointed, you preempt it. You soften, you accommodate, you give more than they asked for. Third, pausing feels worse than the actual task. The task is concrete. The pause is uncertainty. The pause is the moment where they might not like what you say. Fourth, you over-explain to earn permission. You give reasons. You give context. You give a whole story. And the more you explain, the more it sounds like a negotiation. This is why it keeps repeating. Each fast yes teaches your brain, that worked. No tension. Each delayed payment teaches your brain nothing in the moment. You only feel the cost later, alone. So the loop stays intact. Relief now. Bill later. Like a credit card where the minimum payment is your sanity. Now notice the 3 mistakes that keep this glued in place. 1. You answer immediately, before you check your time and energy. So your yes isn't a decision. It's a reflex. 2. You use long excuses instead of a clean limit. Then the other person starts problem-solving your excuse. And now you're trapped in a debate you never wanted. 3. You say, just this once, and you say it every week. The pattern becomes your identity in that relationship. You become the automatic yes. There's a person who plays this out in a very normal way. Call her Maya. Maya isn't weak. Maya is efficient at keeping interactions smooth. Maya gets a message from her manager at 4:30. Can you jump on a quick call? Maya has dinner plans. Maya also has that instant thought. If she hesitates, it becomes a thing. So Maya says yes. She moves dinner. She tells herself it's fine. And by 9 o'clock, she's irritated at everyone, including herself. She's not irritated because the call existed. She's irritated because she disappeared for it. That's the part that feels personal. You can handle effort. You can't handle self-erasure. So here's what happens next time a request hits. Not the big fix. The first move. Step 1 is name the loop. When you feel that pull to keep them comfortable, label it pull in your own head. Not out loud. Just a quick tag, pull. That tag matters because it separates you from the reflex. It turns I should into I'm feeling pressure. And pressure isn't a command. Step 2 is cut the thread. You cut the urgency by buying time. You don't buy time with a story. You buy time with one clean line. Let me check and get back to you. That line isn't rude. It's neutral. It gives your nervous system a chance to settle before you decide. In some workplaces or family dynamics, a pause can be misread, so the exact wording may need to be simpler or more formal. Step 3 is reset on repeat. You answer with a clean response that matches reality. Yes, no, or a smaller offer. One sentence. No defending. No apologizing for basic limits. No extra details that invite someone to fix your boundary for you. This doesn't solve situations where saying no could put you in danger. Now 3 small tools that make those steps real in your mouth, not just in your head. Tool 1 is the default pause line. Pick one sentence and keep it. Let me check and get back to you. Say it the same way every time, like you're reading the weather. When you keep it consistent, it stops feeling like a personal rejection. It becomes a normal step in how you respond. People adapt faster than you think when you stop improvising. Tool 2 is the one-sentence boundary that doesn't argue. Try, I can't do that. Or, I'm not available for that. Or, I can help for 15 minutes, not longer. Say it once. If you hear yourself adding a reason, stop mid-sentence. Then repeat the boundary once and end the message. The point isn't to convince them. The point is to be clear. Clarity is what stops the back and forth that drains you. Tool 3 is the 3-breath stillness after you send the no. Because the guilt spike is predictable. Your body will want to chase them with another message. Your body will want to repair. So you keep your hands still. You take 3 slow breaths. You let the discomfort exist without paying it off. Then you do the next tiny task in front of you. Wash one dish. Open the email you were avoiding. Stand up and put your shoes on. That last part matters because your brain learns from what you do next. If you send a no and then panic fix it, you train the fear. If you send a no and keep living, you train the reality. Go back to Maya for a second. Next week, the manager pings again. Quick call? Maya feels the pull. This time she uses the pause line. Let me check and get back to you. She looks at her calendar like it actually belongs to her. She notices something simple. She has energy for 10 minutes, not an hour. So she sends a clean, smaller offer. I can do 10 minutes right now, then I have to go. Nothing dramatic happens. The world doesn't end. The manager either takes it or reschedules. And here's the quiet shift. Maya didn't manage the manager's feelings. She managed her own access. That is the real difference. Kindness isn't the same thing as access. Respect isn't the same thing as availability. If you hide your real preferences often enough, you stop trusting your own no. Then every request feels confusing. You don't know what you want until you're already resentful. So the goal isn't to become cold. The goal is to stop treating other people's mild discomfort like your job. That job never had an off switch. Watch the pattern the next time it starts. Notice the body signal, that tightness in the chest, that quick smile, that fast yes forming in your mouth. Name it. Buy time. Answer cleanly. Then do it again. Not perfectly, just consistently enough that your brain stops believing speed is the only safe option. You'll still get requests tomorrow. The difference is whether your first move is management or choice. Your calendar will show which one you picked.